viewers, you're watching the latest edition of Our Defense, Republic Defense, with me, Rakshita Mishra, viewers, and we are going to get you all the top stories that are related to India's security and our defense forces. We start today's edition with the unrest in Bangladesh and the impact, viewers. The geopolitical lens, especially in the past 48 to 72 hours, has been on what is unfolding in Dhaka. In Bangladesh, the radicals are on the loose. They're ruling the streets once again. There is complete anarchy. And at the center of the storm is a blatant display of anti-India discourse. Anti-India statements, anti-India slogans, sheer hatred for India is on display. And that's backed by the governing political class. For it is not the first time that the Yunus regime has attempted to provoke India. There is a pattern, and here it is for you, viewers. It was in March this year that Yunus addressed Chinese business leaders mentioning India's northeast. He had said, remember, that the 7 states of eastern India are landlocked, and since they have no way to reach out to the ocean, Dhaka is the only guardian of the ocean. This was provocation number 1. Compounding, this is the shadow of the Bangladesh-Pakistan axis. The recent reports had shown how Pakistan's ISI had set up a special cell. We showed you that at Our Defense, how there is an ISI cell at the Pakistan High Commission in Dhaka. Just after a top Pakistani general had held a meeting with Yunus and presented him with a book and Yunus presented the general with a book that depicted Assam and several northeastern Indian states as part of Bangladesh, calling it a greater Bangladesh map. So these provocations have not been isolated. Just what has been happening in the past few days, we've seen mobs storming close to the Indian embassy, threatening the Indian diplomats in Dhaka, chanting slogans to free the 7 sisters, openly threatening that the northeast will be cut off. New Delhi has now responded firmly by summoning Bangladesh's High Commissioner, issuing a démarche over the threats to its sovereignty and the safety, viewers. But here we are going to talk about how India is fortifying the chicken's neck, that is the Siliguri Corridor. And with the rising threats in the east, with a Pak-China-Bangladesh axis looming, the Indian Army has been strengthening its defensive posture along the Bangladesh border, especially to safeguard the strategic Siliguri Corridor, often called the chicken's neck. Now, we've talked about this long time, viewers, the importance of chicken's neck. We're going to show you what's really happening, the latest activities here. Now, this is the Siliguri Corridor, viewers. This is the 60-kilometer stretch. Already, India has established 3 new military bases in West Bengal, in Bihar and Assam, viewers, to fortify this narrow and vital corridor. This is the Siliguri Corridor. This is the chicken's neck. You can see this is Bangladesh, and this is the northeastern states. Here you can see the Sikkim and other northeastern states. So there is a 4th army base. We are going to show you the bases also on the map. So there is a 4th base, a new base that is being planned by the Indian Army in Mizoram, near the India-Bangladesh boundary. Now, this move comes amid the threats to regional security and increased infiltration attempts along the 4,096-kilometer Anglo-Bangladesh border. So, the lifeline for Northeast, this is about the Siliguri Corridor, viewers, is the only land link to Northeast India, and that is why it's so vulnerable. But it is fortified, remember. So there is a portrayal by the rival forces that they will be cutting this off. It connects the 8 states to the mainland. And why it's important? Because it's very important for the movement of the troops and also logistics, the supplies to northeast Indian states. It's a very short strip, a very small strip. And also it's a key route for civilian trade and transport as well. So we will continue to show you the bases, and then we will talk to our experts about it, the new bases. There are 4 bases in total, if we have the graphics for that. There are 4 bases, 3 bases already by last week. We saw that the chicken's neck corridor, the Siliguri Corridor, has been fortified. Now there is a new one that is being planned. If we have the graphics for it, we can fire it. That's the graphic for you. In Assam, from Bihar, you can see the West Bengal has military base number 1, and military base number 2 is in Bihar. Assam has the third one, and now in Mizoram, military base number 4 is being planned. So this is the big news, viewers, that we're closely tracking for you. And we have our guests on the broadcast. We have Ambassador Yunus, former High Commissioner to Bangladesh, former envoy to Bangladesh, and she has insights on the happenings in Bangladesh. And Major Samar Pal Toor, our defense expert, also joining us on the broadcast. Major Toor, well, you know, we've been highlighting that the threats that have been coming in from Bangladesh are not new. Ever since the Sheikh Hasina government has been toppled, the threats have been only intensifying. It's been more than a year now. Now, the provocation for the chicken's neck again is not new. Pakistan has been doing the dirty job there, and Yunus is ready to do anything to cling to power, sir. What do you have to say about this new development? We had the Eastern Army Commander, also Lieutenant General Tiwari, who had visited. We'll show you the pictures also, viewers. He had conducted a review meeting also with the BSF and the top officers there, sir. But this military base, if you could just explain to our viewers how important this is for India.
Good afternoon to all the panelists and to the viewers. Jai Hind. So basically, you see, the reason why General Tiwari has visited the border is basically a message in its own self that we are ready. And a military general would only visit a location once the military is deployed and ready at that particular place. So as far as we are claiming that we are in the process of militarization of these areas, well, it has already been conducted. It is there. It is an ongoing process. And now, with you see, I want to take everybody back to January of 2025 when the first military delegation from Pakistan visited Bangladesh, and a consecutive total 3 delegations visited in January 2025. As a result, there has been a influx of Jaish-e-Mohammed, the representatives of Jaish-e-Mohammed, indoctrination of the border belts of Bangladesh, especially in the areas like Sylhet, and then they have activated their World War II era airfields and airstrips, where they have already deployed the Baryaktar TB2 drones, and these are armed drones. So you see, as far as the intel is concerned, the monitoring is concerned, the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, we are having them well under our scanner. Now, number 2. The provocation process. It began when the Pakistan military general visited Mohammed Yunus, and it all began. And this is basically an international level instigation by showing the Indian states as part of Bangladesh. This is a pure betrayal of what we have done for Bangladesh. Our soldiers have sacrificed themselves in 1971 to liberate Bangladesh. But I certainly feel that we must tell the people of Bangladesh about Operation Searchlight. We have to tell about the atrocities committed by the Pakistanis against the Bangla population and how the mass rapes were conducted. And there have been videos which have come in which the Pakistani economists were very worried that how come Bangladesh has overtaken the Pakistan economy and is thriving and booming. As a result, the Pakistan military established contact with the Bangladesh regime, and then the influx of the jihadi element. As a result, the Bangladesh economy is gone, and that superiority complex that Pakistan wanted to maintain has been achieved. Now, the only thing which is a matter of concern is the violence against the minorities. And let me tell you, every day when an atrocity against a Hindu is taking place, the heat is only going to come onto the student leaders who are instigating this genocide.
Yes. Sir, we will also go across to Ambassador Siliguri, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining in. And, as I will just take it forward from what Major Toor was saying about the jihadi elements and how the youth is being mobilized, the so-called Gen Z protests, ma'am. You feel that it is being done, that Yunus is ready to even sacrifice the entire country, just for the sake of power, which is not going to augur well for him, ma'am, because we see that again, the jihadi elements and the youth is being weaponized so as to also target India, and this is somewhere being orchestrated by Pakistan.
Absolutely. The whole regime change operation, there was no revolution, there was no student uprising. It was a regime change operation, very carefully planned by Pakistan in cohort with the Jamaat-e-Islami of Bangladesh. The Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh has always been the A team of Pakistan in Bangladesh, and they've been in touch right from East Pakistan days and even before, from the formation of the Jamaat-e-Islami. And Pakistan had the backing of the external powers, of the Western powers, and that is why they could go ahead with this. Now, having put Muhammad Yunus as a frontline person for the Jamaat-e-Islami, he's always doing exactly what the Jamaat-e-Islami is telling him to do. Then we see that Muhammad Yunus now wants to cling on to power. He perhaps wants to become the president of Bangladesh. And that is why he is allowing the Jamaat-e-Islami and the other Islamist forces to have a free reign. Actually, the strength of these Islamist forces in Bangladesh is not that much. In any election that has ever been held in Bangladesh, this group has never got more than, let us say, 5 to 10% of the votes. But now this time, and previously Jamaat-e-Islami was even in partnership with BNP under Khalida Zia from 2001. But this time, the Jamaat-e-Islami wants to go on its own. They want to bring together all the Islamist forces. This is Pakistan's plan. And Pakistan is rapidly trying to embed itself in Bangladesh, reversing 54 years of Bangladesh from 1971 to now. The Pakistan army has trying to re-embed itself with the Bangladesh army, placing their officers in the divisions, and all the earlier restrictions on visas, on trade, on cargo inspection, all that has been reversed. So Pakistan is back in business in Bangladesh in a way that they had not been for the last half century. And with this, they are trying to whip up the more and more of the people to take the jihadi point of view, to take the Islamist point of view. That is why the anti-India rhetoric is being built up to such extremist limits that the people may get disillusioned with the friendship with India and come forward. But I think the frustration for them is that the people of Bangladesh have not come entirely onto the support of the Jamaat-e-Islami. The Awami League vote bank is still intact. And there are many other people who may not be supporters of Sheikh Hasina, but who believe in the values of the liberation war. And in fact, a recent national opinion survey published in Pratham, and that is why Pratham was put on fire yesterday, the survey said that 70% of the people of Bangladesh want Awami League to take part in the next elections. It's not that they're going to vote for Awami League, but they want free, fair and democratic elections. This is the biggest signal so far from the people of Bangladesh that they will not be satisfied with this business of banning Awami League. This will only lead to more instability, more insecurity. We've seen what happened with the attack on Osman Hadi, and today is supposed to be his funeral, and they're expecting a lot of further demonstrations and coming out to the people today. It's a very volatile situation. But the frustration is because they've not been able to get the full support of the people. That is why they're banning Awami League, and India has taken a strong position saying that there must be free, fair and inclusive elections in order that they are participatory and credible. And without that, we have said that the present unrest will continue. There will be continued violence, continued insecurity, and we must get the support of the international community. We must get the support of everybody to ensure that there are free, fair and inclusive elections.
Absolutely. Many thanks, Ambassador Siliguri and Major Samar Pal Toor, for joining us with your understanding of the situation. And we at Republic TV will be keeping a close eye on what's happening on the eastern border. Meanwhile, we will be showing you what happened to Pakistan. Everybody knows that publicly once again it is being exposed. The role of Turkey and Pakistan's defeat in Operation Sindoor. Indian Army has exhibited the Turkish-made weaponized drone that was intercepted after being launched from Lahore base. And during the conflict, Pakistan had launched a wave of drones towards Indian territory, and among the recovered wreckage was a Turkish-origin Yeeha-33 kamikaze drone, unmanned aerial vehicle packed with explosives. Now, it was reportedly flying at an altitude of 2,000 meters when it was shot down in Amritsar and was launched from Lahore International Airport. and ingrained with nearly 10 kilograms of explosive ammunitions. And it has been displayed, forensic evidence displayed by the army provided the irrefutable proof of Turkey's deep defense collaboration with Pakistan that includes the supply and joint production of advanced unmanned combat aerial vehicles used aggressively during the conflict. And the exposure not only hints at the evolving Pakistan-Turkey military nexus, but also explains how India effectively used its multi-layered air defense in neutralizing the threats. And viewers, this happened while there was celebrations of Vijay Diwas were on India's victory of the 1971 war against Pakistan. And Indian Army showcased its growing strength as well in high-tech aerial warfare. The display is indicative of how the army is rapidly adapting to the future battlefields by combining indigenous technology with cutting-edge innovation, as it has been the focus of the military leadership. Let's break it down for you what has been on display. First, the geospatial intelligence capabilities were advanced AI-based satellite imagery analysis systems were displayed, capable of processing vast amounts of satellite data in real time. Systems can identify terrain features, infrastructure, troop movement and potential threats with high accuracy. Commander plans operation and faster and more effectively. Army demonstrated how artificial intelligence is now being used to automatically analyze satellite images, reducing human workload and increasing precision. And now there was another equipment that was on display. The highlight, in fact, throughout this display was the Varuna HVTOL or HVTOL, two-man tactical aerial vehicle that combines helicopter-like vertical takeoff and landing with the efficiency of fixed wing flight. Hybrid platform that can operate in high altitude and inaccessible areas where conventional aircraft struggle. Okay, viewers, we will shift our focus to other stories. And now, another top focus has been the homegrown drones designed for future warfare, modern battlefield requirements. These drones are equipped with high-resolution cameras, long endurance and security data links. The Army has explained how these unmanned systems improve real-time monitoring, reduce risk to soldiers and provide a tactical edge during operations. Okay, we shift our focus to the other stories on our defense now. It's a major boost to India's combat strength as the Indian Army received the final batch of Apache AH-64E attack helicopters, completing the delivery of all 6 aircraft ordered from the United States. Now known as the flying tanks, these helicopters are among the most advanced in the world and are designed for high-intensity warfare that is capable of carrying out precision strikes, close air support and surveillance missions both day and night. Armed with Hellfire missiles, rockets and a powerful 30mm gun, the Apache can detect and destroy the enemy targets even in difficult terrain and poor visibility. The helicopters will be based in Jodhpur and deployed along the western sector, significantly strengthening the Army's offensive and defensive capabilities. Meanwhile, it's not just for the Army but also for Navy. Is more firepower coming in. Indian Navy commissioned its second MH-60R Seahawk helicopter squadron at the INS Hansa in Goa. That's known as the INS 335. These helicopters are amongst the most advanced multi-role naval aircraft in the world and designed to detect, track and destroy the enemy submarines and warships, while also carrying out surveillance, search and rescue, medical evacuation and logistic missions. The MH-60R Seahawks can operate from aircraft carriers, destroyers, frigates and shore bases, giving the Navy greater flexibility and reach across the ocean. It's equipped with modern sensors, sonars, radars and significantly enhance the Navy's ability to monitor the underwater threats and protect the vital sea lanes. India has ordered 24 of these helicopters from the United States, and their induction is aimed at replacing the aging Sea King fleet, reinforcing India's role as a key maritime power in the region. All right, now the 5th edition of the joint military exercise Harimau Shakti 2025. It is being conducted along with the Indian Army and the Royal Malaysian Army. Concluded successfully at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan after 2 weeks of intensive training. The exercise saw the 120 Indian Army personnel from the Dogra Regiment training alongside 70 troops from Malaysia's 25th Battalion, with the focus on counter-terror operations under a United Nations Chapter 7 mandate. Soldiers from both the sides practiced real-world tactical drills, including raid and search operations, heli-borne missions, use of drones, counter-drone measures, securing the helipads and casualty evacuation. It helped improve the coordination and interoperability between the two armies and strengthened the long-standing partnership between India and Bangladesh. All right, viewers, with that, a wrap on this edition of Our Defense. We'll be back next week with more news and top stories for you on the show next Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget to watch this edition on Sunday as well. Thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.